Hello, sixth graders. At this point in the year, you should be pretty familiar with Google Keeps. So I want to just take a moment to review some of the essentials for successfully making Google Keeps so that you get credit for those Google Keeps. I've noticed that some of you are making Google Keeps, but you're not tagging me because I see your Google Keeps when I see you in person or when you share your screen, but they don't pop up in my account. I've also noticed that some of your Google Keeps are a bit disorganized. They're you can't really tell maybe what books you've been reading or when or what you've been thinking about. So I'm going to talk to you about ways you can keep that organized. And then for some of you, I haven't seen any Google Keeps ever. So this is your chance to learn fresh and to just join in so that you feel successful and confident moving forward. All right, let's do it. So to get started, I'm going to go to Google because Google Keep is a Google app. So let's head over to Google. Now that I'm there, I want to click on my Google Apps because Google Keep is a Google app. I'm going to scroll down to the yellow icon that says Keep. I'm going to start with a little bit less today than my usual overwhelming number of keeps so that you can see how yours might look as you build your own keep space. First, make sure that you're signed into your HCCS account. So you should have your little HCCS icon or whatever icon you use for HCCS at the top. Next, take a note. You just start by clicking this, and when you click it, you have some more options that pop up. Every single keep you make should have the date at the top. Today's date is the 25th of February, so that's in my title. Now, I want to make sure that I'm being specific. So I have a couple ways I can do that. When I say specific, I mean, I want to make sure that it's clear what I'm Google keeping about. You could put it in the title. For instance, if I'm doing some independent reading, I might just put the title of my book. I also, to make it clear, could title it with what I'm thinking about. So whatever it is, however you choose, you want to have a title that's pretty clear and concise. Next, you want to make sure that you have a label and that every keep that you make from here on out is labeled. How do you make a label and what is it? A label is like the label you would put maybe in a binder or maybe a tab. So that when you flip through a binder or a notebook, you have different sections, maybe a section for math, for science, for history. Same thing here. So I'm going to add a label right now. And since I'm doing independent reading, I'm going to click add label. And if I've never made that label before in my life, I would type it independent reading. And it will probably ask me to create it if I've never made it before. So I click create and it would come up here. And then once you've made the label before at least once, it will come up as an option. When you click add label, you'll see your options. You can click the one that suits you. You'll see over here that as I make labels, they pop up. So I have all these tabs really accessible on the left-hand side. That will make it really easy to stay organized. So once I have the label, what I really like to do is just jump right to it to guarantee that all my keeps will live here in the label, that they don't get lost. Because if this has been highlighted, that means that all my future keeps, while it's highlighted, will go directly to that label. See how that one is already, I didn't do anything at all, and it just says independent reading already. Let's say that I forgot that. What I could do instead is I could just write hashtag independent reading and it would pop up as an option. There you go. Okay, so that means that if I'm looking in the main section, all my big notes, I have some stuff that is not labeled. So what you might do is you might organize not every keep you've ever made, but maybe the ones that are recent to make sure that the ones that you're using now or you might lean on in the near future have a home. So I'm going to label this one. This is from Harry Potter 2, so I'm going to add label independent reading is where it should live. So let's hop back to independent reading. I'm almost there. My keeps have almost everything they need to get credit. There's a title with the date. They have been labeled clearly. What's missing? There's no collaborator. So you have access to these keeps, but until you put my name on them, I will never see them. You can send me the link, I'll still never see it until you add me as a collaborator. So right now, I'm gonna fix up these keeps by adding a collaborator. To add a collaborator, a person, find the person icon. You want to type in the email address or the name of the person. So for me, H. Mead works, or you could type in Hannah, my first name. It'll probably come up too. Click it and then check it off. Make sure that it pops up as a circle. Then click save. You know that it's worked because you'll see my little face icon right there. So you want to make sure all of your keeps recently have labels and also a collaborator, which is me. That way, when I go to look at my keep account, yours will just pop up clearly, and I will not only see your keeps, but I'll see them organized nicely into a label or folder for me and you. And that will help us to communicate better, for me to find them better, and for you to build on to your work. So let's just recap what we've learned in this quick little tutorial. Google Keeps are for whenever you write about your reading. You might be using them in class time or outside of class time for homework. You can find Google Keep on the website or through your Google Apps. All Google Keeps should have three things: the date in the title, a label or tab assigned, and me as a collaborator. With those three things, you are guaranteed to get credit. So make sure that your keeps have those things moving forward, starting now. I hope this is helpful for you if you had any questions. And if you still have questions, you might poke around on YouTube and just see if you can learn something from other Google Keep experts. There's a lot of them out there, so check it out.